And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
81, 81, 82, 82. What's up?
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him on to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
On the ball. Go, go. Flag.
Throwing now is Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
81.
Now Wentz again. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down.
Let's go. Gun.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to look deep down the field. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 58 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Hurts over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 30 yards there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Great 15, great 15.
Now Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left. And this is taken in at the 5. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. They give him a gain of 38. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They give it off here to the tight end. Trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Let's go. Great.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Lets it fly for Thielen. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, 75 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They've got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Wentz now to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open, so it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Wentz now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Wentz. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And out now come the Vikings. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Hey, Flipper! Gone.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his youth.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now Sproles. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On second down, here's Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
More toe.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, CD, regular season inching closer. You know, looking at the ledger of the games, we'll just stick with the NFC right now, but it starts with a bang. Atlanta at Philly on the 6th.
How about the last 2 teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl head-to-head to start the season? The Falcons, they didn't win it. Philadelphia did. And then how about this for a second game? San Francisco at Minnesota. In normal years, it doesn't get as much attention, but how about now? Jimmy Garoppolo leading the 49ers to take on now Kirk Cousins' Minnesota Vikings.
Anything else there from the NFC Week 1 catching your eye?
Well, I think the Dallas Cowboys at Carolina, that definitely does, because the Cowboys are trying to get back to the playoffs. Dak Prescott, full season of Ezekiel Elliott, and, of course, number one, the big man, Cam Newton, will welcome them to Charlotte. And to finish things
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To throw, it's Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. Pass into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They needed 17, and they got 18. A defensive lapse there, and it's a first down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Wentz now on first down. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Wentz. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Now